Welcome to the Chaos Makes Sense podcast, brought to you by SmarterChaos, where online performance marketing is all they do. Now, here's your host.
It's a great day, I'm feeling good. Oh.
Hi, I'm your host, Kimberly Henry, and I'm here with Matt Frary, Chief of Chaos from SmarterChaos, and Jennine Rexon, President of RexDirectNet.com, who uses performance marketing to help her clients grow their sales. Today, we will be talking with Matt and Jennine about pay-per-call marketing, how it works, and who it can benefit. Now, before Matt and Jennine join us, just a reminder that if you have questions or require assistance with your online performance marketing, you can reach Matt and the team at SmarterChaos.com and on Facebook at Facebook.com/SmarterChaos. Matt, great to be talking with you again today.
Hey, Kimberly, I find myself talking to you again week over week. I love it every time.
Aw, me too.
I really look forward to these podcasts. Our guest, Jennine, is one of my favorite people in the world in affiliate marketing, so I'm excited to have her on today.
Awesome. Jennine, welcome.
Thank you very much for the invitation, Matt and Kimberly. I'm looking forward to speaking with you.
So, Matt, what's up at SmarterChaos this week, and where in the world are you?
I know, where in the world is Waldo, right? I'm still in the same place that we mentioned last week. You got to listen to last week's podcast to figure out where I'm at. But I'm in the mountains. I'm having a great time. This is one of those things, Jennine and I talk about this when we get to meet up at these awesome conferences, whether it's Vegas or New York or, one of these places that Jennine and I run across each other. But we always talk about how, the affiliate marketing lifestyle really gives us the chance to spend with family. We get to free up our geography. I could be podcasting from Hawaii or in this case, from 11,000 feet in the Colorado Rockies. And that's what I'm doing today. I'm 11,000 feet up in the air.
With your feet on the ground, I hope.
Yep, and keep reaching for the stars. That's a throwback for Casey Kasem this week.
Well, let's dive into our topic, because I have the suspicion that that Jennine has a lot to share with us. So can you get us kicked off, Jennine, and kind of inform us what exactly is pay-per-call?
Pay-per-call are inbound generated phone calls to a customer that is buying these leads. Typically, they're sold on a per-call basis, and what that means is that there's a specified duration for the client to assess the quality of the call before it's actually billable.
So, Jennine, what verticals to date have been most successful?
Well, the key to success with pay-per-call is to ensure that the service or product that you are selling has the margin that you need to make it make sense. Pay-per-call is a bit more expensive than online lead generation, but it's also a lot more effective. So the kinds of verticals that we're seeing initially are the legal industry, the home services industry, the insurance industry, and that's really what's been making the most sense to date. However, there are other markets and sub-markets within that are starting to engage in pay-per-call because of how effective it is.
So in this type of marketing, how are calls generated in these industries?
Well, what makes pay-per-call so fantastic now that there's technology to track it on a performance basis quite easily is the fact that it goes across different mediums and different channels. So some of the calls are generated through print, some through TV and radio, and others through online display and mobile search. So really there's a variety of approaches to generating calls, which creates a great mix for the client, and it allows the client to specify the type of media if they have preferences in terms of their inbound call channel.
So let's have Matt jump back on into the conversation. What are your thoughts on this, Matt?
It's a question that I actually looked to Jennine probably maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Pay-per-call was just really getting started. The technologies were coming out. And the question really was, how is everything generated? It's not a major mystery, but there's a level of science around it. And I think that a lot of advertisers think that pay-per-call is kind of scary because how can I guarantee that my ad is being displayed where I want it to? How can I, what kind of channels is it going to be in? How do I track the number? All that sort of thing. And, at the end of the day, like Jennine said, it's display, it's search, it's social, it's all the regular channels we're used to. It just happens to be one more way to get in touch with the advertiser and to acquire, one more sale, one more lead, or one more customer.
Good thoughts. So, Jennine, as Matt was saying, it's kind of a scary industry, part of the industry. How does the quality of calls compare with pay-per call to other lead generation methods?
Let me preface that a little bit. I guess I didn't mean scary. I guess I meant intimidating. So we'll use the word intimidating.
Well, advertisers really shouldn't be intimidated if they have the right products for a pay-per-call experience. It's used all the time in the traditional world. Online directories like the Yellow Pages and offline directories like Yellow Pages have been used for years, and calls have been a way to generate leads before the internet even existed. By having a phone number available even on your website, in some senses you're doing pay-per-call advertising. Using a performance marketing strategy also shouldn't be intimidating, because if it's done right, meaning that the placements are bought appropriately and that you use an IVR to qualify the calls and then have a reasonable duration for the call center to answer them and pre-qualify the candidate, there's really limited risk in terms of generating a good quality lead. And because you have that customer on the phone, you don't have the cost of calling the person back multiple times to engage them or even get them on the phone. So this is a tremendous opportunity to sell a more complex product or service that requires some description or explanation.
And, to that point, in my experience, and I'd like to hear your experience, Jennine, but I've had an advertiser, let's just use Comcast, for example. I've had an advertiser tell me that they get only 10% of their conversions online, and the other 90% of the people that go to a lead form for, Comcast, or Xfinity cable, is gonna call in. So if you're not putting phone numbers on your pages and you're not doing this, you've got to be missing out on a ton of customers, correct?
Absolutely. I think that based on my experience, whether the client is a pay-per-call client or a lead gen client, the calls that come through from the landing pages, when people are at the landing page and they're looking at the form or the phone number, those that pick up the phone and actually dial in while they're looking at your page are those that are most interested and engaged, and the majority of them will convert.
Great conversation going on. I'm learning a lot. And we'll be back in just a moment with Matt and Jennine to hear more. It's time now for a break.
More Chaos Makes Sense after this.
Impact Radius is revolutionizing the performance marketing industry with its solutions for advertisers and agencies. Founded by industry veterans in 2008, the company is fundamentally changing the performance marketing landscape. Go to impactradius.com today to learn more about their industry-leading solutions, including tag management, media management, affiliate tracking, mobile app tracking, and more.
Affiliates make more money from your audience promoting Mtelligence. Mtelligence provides small businesses with the tools to engage, encourage, and measure customer satisfaction in real time with custom mobile surveys, rewarding participation with mobile coupons, while simultaneously building opt-in, SMS, and email marketing solutions. Take advantage as an affiliate by promoting the Mtelligence free trial offer and earn up to $20 per transaction. Join our affiliate program at mtelligence.co.
Nothing, yes, nothing that a brand or advertiser says about their product is nearly as influential as what is shared online by women. She Is Media is a unique and one-of-a-kind community designed to embrace women bloggers and their ability to share their story and drive the moment of intent. Join the Sisterhood of Sharing at sheismedia.com and make money recommending products and services that matter to you. Join sheismedia.com.
It's time now for more Chaos Makes Sense.
And I'm back with Matt Frary, Chief of Chaos for SmarterChaos, and Jennine Rexon, President of RexDirectNet.com. Jennine, can you give us some tips for advertisers to ensure quality calls?
Absolutely. One of the most important ways to ensure good quality calls is to communicate back to the agency that you're working with regarding which calls are generating sales. this way, the media can be optimized and the campaign can be optimized with the various other tweaks to ensure that more of the kinds of calls that are generating income for your business are the ones that are increasing in volume. So all the phone numbers are tracked and can be relayed back to the inbound call center. So that's one of the ways, and probably the most important way, to ensure long-term success. On the front end, not only is it about placements in terms of radio versus mobile search versus TV, each one will have different levels of quality in terms of how the campaign is given to the audience or shown to the audience or delivered to the audience. But then it's important to play around with IVRs. It's really important to try longer IVRs, shorter IVRs, and ask pertinent questions. Although IVRs aren't the absolute key to success, it certainly can help streamline who ultimately gets through, and there's no point in taking calls from people that absolutely are not your ideal customer.
And IVR stands for I'm very reasonable?
I'm very reasonable, correct.
What does IVR stand for, Jennine?
IVR is a branching system within the, how do I put it? It's like a phone survey prior to the call being put through to the customer or to the buyer. It's that if you are looking for a great deal on health insurance, click 1, press 1. If you're looking for a great deal on auto insurance, press 2, or something to that effect, right? Right, but typically we can use it not only to combine perhaps products or services and clarify and maybe direct them to the appropriate person within the company to handle the call, but we can also ask qualification questions such as, do you have a credit card? Or are you over the age of 65 or under the age of 65? Because health insurance may be handled, for example, differently. And when someone works with you, I mean, you know, again, that intimidation factor, these tracked phone numbers and these I'm very reasonable IVRs and all this stuff that somebody has to set up. I mean, that's something that really you're providing, right, as the service? Absolutely. We use the Invoca technology to make all this magic happen. And all of our clients have logins so that they can see who is running the various campaigns. And most importantly, if it's allowed by the client, we can actually record all the calls, which really helps with quality control and performance, not only on the source side, but also within their call center or their agent. I think this is really an important conversation. We had a call with JP Sauve from Max Bounty, and really that was more geared towards, you know, publishers and how much money you could make from the publisher side, but you're giving a lot of really good information to the advertiser. And for an advertiser to know that there's someone like you in the industry that they could work with that could kind of, you know, help them along the path, and it's not an intimidating, you know, medium to play in, but they could still generate calls. I mean, that's a great thing. So I'm really happy we're diving into this. Right. I think one of the interesting things about our company is that we were one of the first into paper calls. So we have a lot of experience with a variety of campaigns, and we've seen what works and what doesn't. And we're able to take those lessons and apply them to any new clients that we bring on. Yeah, so Kimberly, I don't want to steal your thunder, but I have to ask the very obvious question. What works and what doesn't? Well, tracking is one factor that early on was an issue between sourcing and tracking between the client and the agency. So I try and make sure that there are no misunderstandings about how tracking works. When is a call billable? And although it's not secret or difficult to manage, I think given the newness of the paper call space, it's important to make sure that clients understand or advertisers understand what a billable call is. So in our technology, we go based on connection duration. So after the IVR, that's when the time starts. So even if a client has a 60-second connection duration and their contract is a billable call, and it takes them 60 seconds to answer the phone, they didn't use that time wisely to qualify the caller for their product or service because they just picked up the phone. So it's important for advertisers to understand that and make sure that they're staffed properly to be able to take the call. So that's one issue that we found. Another is with IVRs in general. Early on, a lot of advertisers used lengthy IVRs on their side. So just as I mentioned, the time starts when it leaves the IVR on our side. If they go through a lengthy IVR on the client side and they start counting it, the duration in their system after their IVR process, there's a real disconnect in timing. And that obviously lead to billing issues in the future.
And Kimberly, to give you some sort of scale on that, Kimberly, you know, if an advertiser is paying, let's just use the number 10, they're paying $10, let's say, for a 90-second duration call, right? And let's say the IVR, you know, the automated voice that comes on is 90 seconds. That means every call that comes in, whether they intended to or not, is going to be paying out $10.
Right.
And if you're sending 1,000 calls in, then only 10% of them should have probably converted. So maybe 100 would have got paid on. That means that 100% of them would be paid for. So, I mean, what Jennine's bringing up is a really big point. So you really have to have someone with the expertise. You have to have the right technology and the know-how to put one of these campaigns together so you don't lose your proverbial assets.
So we're going to take a quick break right now, but when we come back, we want to talk about where pay-per-call is going in the future. Right now, it's time for Chaos Makes Sense. And I'm back with Matt and Jennine. So you've really laid some great groundwork as to what pay-per-call is and how it's working and what's not working. Jennine, what's the future of pay-per-call?
I think that the future of pay-per-call is bright. 3 years ago when we got started, nobody knew what pay-per-call was, and there were very few companies that knew how to do it at all. It was a tough sell, and it was hard to find placements. Now it's exploded. There are many technologies available. There are a lot more verticals getting involved, and I think what's so exciting about it is the fact that there's so many different channels that are able to take advantage of pay-per-call.
And it's not just for your grandfather's insurance anymore either. I mean, you know, we have everybody from magazines to, you know, people that sell products like, you know, as seen on TV. But if you could put a phone number on the landing page, or you can do, you know, Google search and put a phone number up in Google search, and someone can answer the phone and sell products, then pay-per-call is something you should be looking into, right, Jennine?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I remember years ago, Matt, we used to dream about being able to track phone numbers and phone calls because we knew that it was a great source of leads for our clients. And it's really just in the last few years that this technology has become readily available for us to use in a performance marketing way.
When you and I were working together 8 years ago, I think we just called it leakage.
Exactly. We would always ask our clients, please take the phone number off your page. Now, today we say, do you have a phone number that we can add to your page?
I know. We were stripping off the air quotes leakage, and now we're trying to get it back on there.
Oh, that's
Absolutely. So this is something that, as I mentioned earlier, people have been doing forever offline, and it has been discouraged in the performance marketing industry until fairly recently, where we have these tracking capabilities and can bring to our customers in a fair and equitable way really good quality calls.
So, Jennine, our final question for you today is, what is getting you excited and out of bed in the morning?
Well, I absolutely love this pay-per-call vertical. I love how it spans all the different media types. It allows me to explore new placements outside of just internet marketing. And that's been really fun for me to learn about print media. Believe it or not, it's not dead. There's great opportunities to take advantage of markets that still are highly engaged in print media.
Thank you so much for your time and expertise today. If you want to get in touch with Matt, you can reach him at SmarterChaos.com or on Twitter at Chief of Chaos. And Jennine can be reached at via email, contact us at rexdirectnet.com. That's contact us at rexdirectnet.com. Or by phone. No more leakage, right? By phone, 888-572-3746. 3244. That's it for us today. You can follow us also on Twitter at SmarterChaos, and you can join us on Facebook at facebook.com/SmarterChaos. Matt and Jennine, thanks so much.
Thank
No
you.
more leakage.
No more leakage. We're tracking those calls.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. At SmarterChaos Online Performance Marketing, we do it all. We create order from chaos, and we will drive your sales. Contact us today at SmarterChaos.com. That's www.SmarterChaos.com.